Hello, me compadres, Brian the Boat here, and today I wanted to do a tips and trips. Trips, you know, you gotta trip over, no, tips, for Battlefield 1. Now, because I made this because I just wanted some ad revenue. So how would I get ad revenue? Well, obviously, I make something that's relevant on YouTube. And I think that Battlefield 1 is relevant on YouTube. And also I wanted to help people out if you didn't know a lot of things going on with Battlefield 1. So let's start off with the play style. How are you playing Battlefield 1? Are you playing it like a Rambo, just going out of your own way, ripping everyone apart? Or are you staying still and waiting until the enemy comes by? And when they open that door, do you have a shotgun towards the face? Well, my play style and my suggestion to you as a player is that it's an EA game, right? It's Battlefield. It takes more skill than you think. It's not like Call of Duty where you can just run and gun. No, this actually takes a little intelligence to play, you know? So if I were you, I wouldn't run and gun or just like, you know, be Rambo or something. You need to play intelligent. You need to play with your teammates. You gotta play the objective. And just in general, just be careful because you gotta be aware. You gotta be aware because with these weapons, they're not really reliable. Like, I haven't played a weapon that's really reliable for me because, like, probably in Call of Duty, I haven't played much of Call of Duty. There's a weapon that, like, you can rely on all the time and it can't fail. Sometimes these weapons can fail, and that's just because of, like, how it was made, or maybe the EA servers, because everyone knows that the EA servers likes to, like, you know, go down for some reason. Especially in this gameplay that I'm showing you right now. For some reason, the EA servers weren't working that day, so I was like, okay. But I'm glad I got that, so got this gameplay. So yeah, play smart, because if you don't play smart, you're going to get yourself killed real quick. You just can't run and gun. Another point I would like to say is squads. So I'll tell you a lot about squads here. So squads will get you a lot of points. So if you are not in a squad, there's something wrong with you, because it provides with a lot of things. It provides you with a lot of good things, right? Like it provides you with spawns with your friends or with whoever you're placed with, right? Like say this person on your squad was located in this area, you can spawn on him if he's not being attacked. Now notice, if he's being attacked or he's attacking someone, you can't spawn on him. That's just for safety tips, right? And so that being said, that's one part with it. Another part is leaders, right? Because you could be a leader if you make your own squad. Because a leader can assign objectives. So they wanted you to take objective A, they just have to click for the PS4. It would be R1. So you click R1 on the sign for like objective butter, and it will show this flashing green arrows pointing right at it. And so everyone in your team, well, everyone in your squad can see that. So you can go and do that and get those objectives, because if you capture that objective or defend it, you can get a lot of points from it. So when you're defending and you want to take that defend that objective, you just click it, and you just have to wait for a certain amount of time for that to work, for it to like give you the points, unless like if you're trying to capture an objective, since you're attacking, right? Like since you're attacking, you can click that, and all they have to do is just capture it, and boom, you're done. You got the objective. But of course, this game and players is without flaw, so you'll run across some really bad squad leaders, right? And so if you feel like you can do better than that squad leader, that here's a tip that would help you, right? If you request an order, like if you, I believe it's click R1 again, and you go down, it gives you this social options, right? And like if you just I think it's like L1, no, the L analog stick. If you point down the L analog stick, where it says request order, there you can request an order, and if he doesn't request, if he doesn't assign you an order, you will become the squad leader. Now I don't know how long it takes for the game to make you squad leader. I think it's like if you request an order, if it doesn't do anything in 60 seconds, like a minute, then you'll become squad leader. But I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure, but that's just something that I would have to figure out, and you had to figure out as well. So again, squads are really important. And plus, if someone is so generous enough to join your squad, or just made a squad and they have double XP, definitely join them, right? Because it's so important, because you can get a lot of points for it. I mean, a lot of points. Now we're gonna go for vehicles. Right now you're seeing some vehicle gameplay. The vehicles in this game are monsters if you use them correctly. There are planes, there are tanks, and there are like juggernauts, like the dreadnought, which is on this map. And then you have the Zeppelin, and you have the battle train. And those are the vehicles in Battlefield 1, and they're really important to use to change the tide if you use it correctly. Now with tanks, it's a little tricky, because they are most of the time they're really small. They're really slow when it comes to moving and turning. So you really have to be careful with your surroundings, because people like me, I have this assault class that has the A1 rocket, or AT rocket, I'm sorry, and I have the NT tank grenades, and I can just like rip apart a tank if I needed to. So you have to be really careful with that. You have to be really careful with what you do with that tank. And if you join a tank, please, for the love of God, don't leave the tank when, like, if it seems like the tank's gonna die, stay there. Alright, accept your fate. Try your best to defend it, because some tanks will give you the ability to let more than one person get in the tank. So let's say the Mark 1 tank, if I'm correct, or the Mark 3rd tank, it has 2 slots depending on what variant it is. So I'm going with like the first variant you can unlock. That's like a driver and 2 gunners, but these 2 gunners are really important, because you don't have those big cannons. They do. Those 2 gunners are the cannons. So you have to like be careful with what you do. And really, in this game, the games that I'm playing, if I ever pick that tank, no one really wants to get in it. I don't know why, but I guess it's because like you got to get a good pilot in there, because like if there's not a good tank driver in there, you're not going to get any kills as the cannon. So I can see how that. I can kind of see it. And then another tank is the land ship, which is more of a favorite tank that people like using, because instead of the people controlling the cannon, the driver controls the cannon. And depending on the variant, 4 or 5 people can get in there. And they have like this weird machine gun type thing that no one really gets in. I mean, like, the only reason why people pick it is because it's like the second tank that really likes getting in. That people like getting in, because you can control the cannon and no one else has to. And then the other tank is the light tank, which is a kind of a tricky tank, because even though it says light tank, it doesn't really move fast. I mean, it does, but the Mark, I mean, like the land ship does a whole lot better at turning. I mean, like, if you're going straight forward with the light tank, you're fine, but then if you're not, that's going to be tricky. And you're really vulnerable too, because you are a light tank and you don't have much armor, and if you take too much, you're going to die. The other tanks, sure, they can take a beating, but if there's too much heat, I suggest you fall back and like regroup with other people. And then the last vehicle in the tank area is the artillery. The artillery tanks, which are just trucks with, like, depending on what variant it is. I'm going to talk about the artillery truck. The artillery truck is a really good vehicle, in my opinion. I love using it, but it's weaker. It's weaker than the light tank and the other tanks. So, like, if you take a beating, you gotta, like, fall back a lot. You can't even get in the front, right? You can't even get in the heat of battle. You just gotta stay back. With that vehicle, you gotta stay back and just, mind your own business. And if you see something moving, you kill it, right? Now we're gonna go on to weapons. The weapons are really interesting. Because these are World War I weapons, but EA or DICE, they make it feel, I don't know, they make it feel okay. I mean, the way you control them is that, like, you gotta be still in a way, because you can't be, like, moving, depending on the weapon, because if it doesn't have accuracy, you're not gonna hit anything if you're moving. So you gotta be super duper careful with that. With snipers, this is a very important thing. If you want to be an effective sniper, you can't be looking down scope all the time, because people can see your scope flashing, because they have this mechanic where, like, if you're looking down scope, people can see you because of the flash of the scope. So you gotta be really careful of that, because if you're not looking down scope, they can't see you unless someone spotted you. And that's another important thing too, is that you gotta spot people. But we're gonna talk about that in the minimap. But for the other weapons, they're like they're shotguns, they're machine guns, pistols. If you're reloading with your primary weapon, and there's someone in front of you, I suggest stop reloading and get out your pistol and start shooting, because that's the mistake I like doing a lot. Is that, like, oh, maybe I'll repair myself and I'll be able to, not repair, but like I'll be able to reload and I'll be fine. No, that's a lie. That's a horrendous lie you can tell yourself. If someone's in front of you, pull out your pistol and make sure you get a good one. For scouts, I suggest you get the Mars pistol. That's a really, really good weapon in my opinion. That's just a fantastic weapon. The accuracy's decent. The rate of fire is slow, kind of, in a way. It's not like it's not like a semi-automatic, right? So weapons are really tricky as well. So you gotta be careful of that. Machine guns, you can hear them when you're running out of ammunition. So, like, if you're running out of ammunition in your clip, you can hear it, because, like, there's different noises. So it's also really important to listen to your environment and to your weapons. And then finally, we're going to talk about the minimap. The minimap has changed a lot. In Battlefield 4, like, you can see everything. You can see everything in Battlefield 4. Now, in Battlefield 1, that's a whole different story, because the minimap isn't really reliable. Now, if you click the touchpad, that is on your PS4, or I don't know what other things that you activate it with the PC or the Xbox One. I don't know how to activate it. Only with the PS4. You just press the touch screen on the controller, and then there you can see a bigger version of the minimap, and that's really helpful to see, like, where do you want to go and such. But you have to rely on your teammates, because they can spot people for you, and you can spot teammates yourself with what I believe it's the R1 bumper. So you click that, and if you see an enemy, you click that, and it spawns in, right? Not spawns in, but you spot them. As you can see, there's a little red dot on that plane. That means that they're spotted. Anyone on your team, not just your squad, but anyone on your team can see that little sign, and they can try to attack them if they want, because now they're visible to everyone. And I believe, yes, they are visible on the minimap, so that's another thing too. Don't, like, completely disregard the minimap, because there's some helpful things with it. So if someone spots them, you can see them. So you gotta be really careful. So just in general, Battlefield 1 is a very tricky game in a sense. It's not absolutely difficult, but it's not your average shooter, like Call of Duty or Battlefront. And it's nothing like Battlefront. I can tell you that right now. It's nothing like Battlefront. Battlefront, compared to this, is super, super easy. Like, Battlefront is super, super easy, man. Like, it's like, I don't know, like, the reason why I'm doing so well in Battlefront is probably because it's easy. So, that's all I wanted to say. This was a little disorganized. I apologize for that, but hey, that's just me. So thank you, everyone, for watching this wonderful video, if I do say so myself. If you liked it, please give it a like to support the Red Guard. Spread the fire. And this is Brian the Bold signing out. Stay bold out there. Ciao.